All right, I'll start sharing. All right. So hi everybody. It's nice to see everybody. As Wissam mentioned, my name is Laura Winankowski, and I'm an international life and relationship coach. And I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. The reason I speak all these languages is because I was born in Finland. I grew up in Venezuela. Then I studied in Boston, then Miami, and now I live in Dublin, Ireland. So I love giving these talks here in Internations. We've given over 50 talks at this point. And today's subject is how to gain direction and be more balanced. And I think that this is a really important subject to talk about. And I also think it's very symbolic that we're talking about it now because it's Libra season. You know, I know a lot about astrology, and I actually give astrology talks here in Internations as well. I'm not an astrologer, but I know a lot about astrology. And Libra is all about finding balance, right? And today Saturn went direct today as well, so it's a really good time to be thinking about these things astrologically. And as we know, you know, the world is a little chaotic at the moment. So it's really important to find that inner balance within yourself, right? Because that way your whole life will flow much better. So I hope you enjoy the presentation. I hope it gives you ideas and insights on how to gain more direction and be more balanced within yourself. So simple ways to find balance. So life balance seems to be the topic on everyone's mind lately. So we've discovered that maintaining a healthy life balance is not only essential for happiness and well-being, it can be a tremendous boost to your productivity and career or business success as well. You know, because the more balanced you are within yourself, the better everything in your life will flow, right? Everything begins and ends with you. And this is something that I talk about in my coaching all the time. So a well-balanced person has a far greater ability to focus their attention and energy on attaining their goals, taking productive actions, and moving forward in a meaningful way. Because I'm sure that you've noticed that when you're having a good day, everything seems like more possible, right? Like when you feel good within yourself and you feel balanced, you feel like you can do a lot more. When you're having a bad day, when you're having like an off day, you know, you see obstacles everywhere, right? So balance is really, really key in life in general. So ways to find balance. So the big question is, what does life balance really mean? And I think that this is a really good question for everybody to think about. You know, what does a balanced life mean to you? What does balance look like to you, right? So yeah, and most importantly, how do we go about achieving it in the midst of our crazy schedules, right? Like the crazy world, you know, the crazy world that we're in right now. And of course, we all have our own lives and our own, you know, hectic schedules. So how do you find a balance with all of that? So there are steps you can take to change what isn't working and get back some control and balance in your life. And once you start seeing results, you'll be better equipped to maintain that newfound equilibrium. So the key is not to try to change everything at once. You know, if you try to change everything at once, you're gonna feel really overwhelmed, and then you're just gonna give up, right? So it's important to take baby steps. You know, make small adjustments over time to determine what works for you. So eventually, you'll have a whole new set of positive life habits, and you'll never look back. So it's about establishing good habits, right? Like positive habits, and also like habits that that you can do, right? Like habits that are easy to do, sustainable habits that bring you like joy, balance, and happiness. So so these are some tips that you can do. You know, you can take notes on this as well. So, you know, we're all addicted to, you know, everything, you know, all this tech that's around us, right? We're addicted to our phones, our laptops, our iPads, you know, like life revolves around these things, right? So I think that it's really important to disconnect sometimes. Disconnect on the weekend, try it at least for one day or even a few hours each night, right? Put the phone down and turn off the computer, give your work brain a rest, and spend the extra time actually interacting with your family and your friends, right? I mean, I think that that's really important, and it's all about finding the balance. I mean, of course, we need all these things, to live in the world these days. But I think it's also really good to disconnect sometimes, right? And to spend time with your family and your friends, and spend time doing things that are important to you. So focus on the essentials. It's a given that if your life is overflowing, you will never be able to achieve balance and manage it all. It's just not possible. So say no to everything that is either not essential or doesn't add something valuable to your life, and be ruthless about this. Like, do things that are actually, moving your life forward in some kind of positive way, right? Many times we can get so distracted with little things, that are not important, right? So try to focus on the things that are really important to you, right? And of course that are aligned to to your values and your priorities, as well. And of course, that's going to be different for every person, right? That's why I think it's a really good idea to do like a brainstorming yourself, and really ask yourself what is important to you, like for real, you know. Pay attention to your health. We hear this over and over again, but usually, like, we don't really take it that seriously. We know what we need to do, but it isn't a priority until we have a health crisis. And this is so true. This is so true. Until, if you haven't had like a big health crisis, you don't realize like how important your health is, right? Like, your health is your wealth. Without your health, you can't really do anything. So it's really important to take care of yourself, in all ways. So our health really does affect the quality of our lives and our work. And we are far more productive and happier when we get enough sleep, we eat a little healthier, and fit in some time, of activity and exercise. Minimize toxins. So not just the toxic chemicals, like minimize the negative influences around you as well. And remember that this is always a choice. That the type of people that you have around you is a choice that you make on a daily basis. So avoid toxic people, avoid complainers, whiners, poor attitudes. And if you can't completely avoid them, at least minimize contact and tune them out as much as you can. Surround yourself with positive, supportive, can-do people, whenever possible, right? So yeah, this is really important. Take a look and see what kind of people do you have around you. Are they mostly positive or are they mostly negative? And it's your choice. It's your choice, the type of people that you surround yourself with. Spend time alone. Making time for you is probably the hardest thing to do for the typical overworked and overwhelmed person, but it is crucial for lowering stress, increasing happiness, and encouraging creativity. Some things that you can try are, meditating, writing, sketching, do some yoga, or simply sit quietly for a few minutes each day and do absolutely nothing, right? So just like it's important to tune into yourself. Out and closing your eyes and taking a couple of deep breaths in and out, and just, yeah, tune in with yourself, right? The more aligned you are with yourself, the better everything in your life will flow, and of course the more balanced you're going to feel as well. Relationships do matter. Set aside quality time with your family and your friends, and don't just sit in front of the television. Really connect and pay attention to those you care about. And also, like, it's not just sitting in front of the television. I mean, many times when we're interacting with our family and our friends, we're stuck on the phones as well, right? So put down the phone, right? Like, I think that one of the most caring things that you can do these days is to have a conversation with somebody and not be looking at your phone all the time, right? Because we're so used to it that we don't even notice, that we do this all the time, and that people do this all the time, right? So really, make an effort, right, to connect with people, without being stuck on the phone all the time. So make a date with your significant other. have coffee with a friend, play a game with a child. Really get to know the people around you. And again, going back to the phones, one of the biggest problems in relationships these days is, people being on their phones and not being able to have like a conversation without the phone being there. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. Treat yourself. Get a pedicure or a facial, or schedule a massage. It doesn't need to be costly. I mean, it can be a nice glass of wine, your favorite coffee or tea, or like a scented candle or beautiful flowers. That's all going to make a huge impact, and it's going to make you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better, of course, inside and out. Explore the world. Take a walk and pay attention to what's going on around you. Take a new route, visit a new town, or try being a tourist in your own city. Attend a local performance, play amateur photographer, or go to the park and watch children play. They really know how to enjoy life. Like if you watch children play, I mean, children live in the moment, and children have so much fun and they laugh all the time. So those are great reminders of, living in the moment and really, enjoying life. Give yourself permission to enjoy life again and have fun, with really simple things. It doesn't have to be anything like too drastic or dramatic. Expand your awareness. Take a class, learn to paint, or try something new that you've always wanted to learn. Read a book that sparks your interest, or try listening to uplifting music. Find what interests you. We tend to be creatures of habit, and we tend to do the same things all the time, listen to the same things all the time, watch the same shows. Try to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, right? And find something new. Find something new that interests you, That way you expand your life, and you expand your interests. Remember to have fun. It's so important to have fun, and as adults we forget this, right? Because, as I mentioned, the kids, kids are always having fun and playing, and as adults we forget that. So laugh, joke, play, find your sense of humor. Subscribe to a daily joke or get a tear off calendar. Nothing makes you feel better as fast as a good old fashioned belly laugh. Like laugh at least once a day, at least, just find joy in life. Find joy in the tiniest little things, that makes all the difference in the world. Like I find joy like in the dumbest, the most silly things, but that's just the way I am. Like I look for that joy in everything, right? And it's a habit as well, right? Like you can choose to find joy in everything, or you can choose to find something negative in everything, right? So again, it comes back to choice. So choose to have fun, choose to be happy. So going back to finding the balance. So life is very much a balancing act. Like every day we're balancing things. So and we're always just a step away from a fall, right? We're constantly trying to move forward with our purpose to achieve our goals, all the while trying to keep in balance the various elements of our lives. If any aspect of our life draws a disproportionate amount of energy, we have to shortchange the other aspects. So that throws us off, and we're unable to move forward on life's tightrope until a balance can be reestablished. So we have to deal with any areas that are taking too much energy and put them in perspective, align them so that we have energy available for all areas, It's kind of like if you think about like a tightrope walker, right? Like somebody that's walking on a tightrope and they're holding on to this pole. That's what it feels like when you're trying to balance so many different areas of your life, right? And that's why you have to find the right balance, for everything to flow better. And it's something that we need to work on a constant basis, right? And there's no magical formula, right? Because it's different for everybody, right? But then when you notice, I think it's really important to realize when there is an aspect of your life that's not in balance, and do something about it, right? Because the faster you do something about it, you're going to stop it from going like way off balance, right? So many times, sometimes people don't realize like how off balance you can be, and then things get worse. So I think that the faster you react to something that's not balanced, the better it's going to be in the long run. So again, balance is a choice. I talk about this a lot, because everything in our life is choices, right? So balance is a choice as well. So it's important to understand that others cannot do this for us, right? So no one can think, breathe, feel, see, or experience or love for us. It's up to us to balance all the different aspects of our lives. We just have to decide to do it, right? So just the same way as, nobody else can make you happy, your happiness is your own choice and your responsibility. So is the balance in your life. It's your choice and your responsibility. Nobody else can do it for you. So again, with the balancing act. So what's the first step? To stop and assess how you're doing. So look at all the various aspects of your life, that we're constantly juggling, constantly trying to keep in balance. Relationships and family, money, health, social circles, spiritual development, and mental growth, There's all these different, areas of our lives that we're always trying to balance. So it's important to assess your life as it is right now. So looking at ourselves as we really are is the first step in restructuring our lives. Do you feel physically exhausted, mentally stagnant, or find yourself without close relationships? Would you call yourself a workaholic? Do you feel a lack of spiritual alignment? If you answer yes to any of these questions, your life is probably out of balance. And this is a really, really important point, because I think that it's really important like to be honest with yourself, but be like brutally honest with yourself, right? Because it's a lot easier to try to pretend to other people, but you need to be honest with yourself. And this is a theme that has come up a lot with my one-to-one coaching clients lately. That life is really like telling people to be 100% honest with themselves, right? Because if you can't be honest with yourself, like how can you be honest with somebody else, right? So that honesty starts with you. So really like take a hard look at your life to, and see where you are right now. And if there is an area of your life that's not balanced, make an action plan, decide what to do to get more balance into that area, and then, you can talk with your family or your friends or like a coach or a therapist, if you need more guidance in that area. So make a conscious decision to become more balanced. Again, going back to the choices. So choosing reality as our basis of decision is a second step to becoming balanced. So achieving balance allows us to reach our goals and our purpose in life while creating less stress to do so. So a conscious decision to change is now in order. And this is really important. Like, it's not only a decision, it's a conscious decision, right? Because the first thing that you need to do if you want to change something in your life is that you need to make a conscious decision, right? It's not just a decision, it's a conscious decision, right? But then when you make this conscious decision, you have to follow up. You have to follow through with it, right? Because many times, like, we can say that we're going to do something and then we don't do it, right? But when you make a conscious decision to do something, then you follow through with it, and you actually do it. And make that decision on a minute-to-minute schedule. So we're all instant forgetters. Remember all those resolutions you made way back in January? I'm sure that many people made New Year's resolutions that they can't even remember right now, right? So renewing our decisions on a daily, minute-to-minute basis allows us to ease into change instead of expecting things to change overnight. Of course, things are not going to change overnight, but the way that things change is that every single day, with your words, with your thoughts, your words, and your actions, you actually, change things, and then, you start making those changes. But those changes need to be active changes, right? Because it's really easy to talk about things and then not do them, right? But then again, going back to the conscious decision, when you make a conscious decision to change something, then you're going to do it. But you need to follow up with it like every day, right? You need to be accountable to yourself every day, or else you can work with an accountability buddy. Like, you can have a friend, that you can be accountable to, or, you can work with a coach as well, whatever you want to do. But it's really, really important to, to actually do something about it and not just say that you're going to do something about it. So set goals in every area of your life. Set realistic goals in all areas of your life to assist yourself in remembering that your ultimate goal is balance. So your goals should cover your relationships, your physical being, your spiritual alignment, your mental development, your job, and your finances. These would be like the major areas of life, right? And I think it's a good idea to check in and see what kind of balance do you have in all of these areas. And one thing that you can do, I love using the scale of 1 to 10, like in my coaching, I'm always using the scale of 1 to 10, like, like how do you feel about this on a scale from 1 to 10? So you like a good exercise for everybody to do right now is, write down all these areas of your life and rate them on a scale from 1 to 10. Like 1 being, that you're not satisfied at all, and 10 being that you're super happy with this area in your life, and that's going to give you an idea of what kind of balance you have in your life now. And remember that whatever area is not balanced, whatever area you're not happy with, you can't change it, but it takes effort, and it's not going to happen overnight. So be willing to take the risk. Being willing to assess ourselves and take the risk to change will not only enhance our lives, but you will feel more energy and an expanded awareness of what life is all about. Acknowledging that balance is essential and recreating your life to encompass your decision is worth all the risk. So make time to reassess yourself on a daily basis. None of us can really know how well we're doing with change in our lives unless we're willing to reassess our position. So don't feel that your decisions are made in concrete. If something feels that it isn't working, be willing to look at a new decision. So make time for yourself every day in a quiet, meditative state to relax and check yourself out, right? So I think that it's good to have plans, it's good to have goals, but it's also good to be flexible as well, right? Because things happen, and so it's good to be flexible and to reassess, reassess yourself on a daily basis. So build the bridge from your dreams to your destiny. Bridges have always been very symbolic for me, especially in times of transition, like right now, many people are going through transitions on a personal basis, and then the whole world is going through a transition right now. So the more balanced and aligned you are in mind, body, and spirit, the better you're going to be able to build the bridge from your dreams to your destiny. So so thank you. May you gain more direction and be more balanced. I offer coaching sessions in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. You can get in touch with me at lauracoaching@gmail.com, and my website is laurarenenkoski.com. And then my Wake Up to Your True Potential YouTube series, the link is there. I have a series where I interview amazing people. So please subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends, and help me to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So that's my presentation.